Tonight's episode is brought to you by Moscato. I'm drinking it. I'll tell everybody how I. Episode is brought to you by Moscato. Oh, well, I'm drinking it. The joke's so awesome. I told it twice. Okay.
I'm muted.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
So it wasn't me. That was your fault.
That was my fault. I did that.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I'll tell everybody how I found this delicious beverage. I'll also reveal what's up with my new wood frame glasses, as well as other stuff from this glorious past week here live. Yeah. Oh yeah, live on indieVolt. Don't have the intro ready. Don't have it ready. Don't have it ready. Crack operation we run here.
Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome.
Here we go. All right. See you guys after the jump.
All right.
Jump.
Yeah. It is I. It's me. Best ever. Everyone still here? Okay. Making sure. You guys tend to disappear on me. So yeah. A lot of stuff happened this week. We're going to talk about that, as well as the title of today's the subject of today's video. But first, introductions. Everyone knows me. I am a paragon of virtue.
The guy in the fuzzy hat.
The Duke of Oil. Get it? Mm-hmm.
Very far.
Co-owner of Last Law Comics for the last 7 years. Founder of indieVolt Media. Got my start making comics in 2008. Way back when we still had MySpace.
Way back when.
My first book I published was a black and white interior action comedy called Psycho Sirens. I am a father, a husband, a geek, a creator, a publisher, a reluctant taxpayer, don't tell the Clintons, and an artist. Shamefully not in that order. And you're watching indieVolt Live. Tonight, I am joined by these guys. Quickly, people, speak.
Who?
Go first, Randy.
Randy Zimmerman, Zim Geek, on YouTube, independent, publisher, printer, done just about everything in the comic market that you can imagine other than distributing for many years. Printed by a lot of companies, printed myself quite a few times, and, just here to do comics. So.
All right.
Keeper of the Viking Yoda. With the little tipsy.
Right under Randy there is my wife Lola, who says something. She's just here to laugh and jiggle. So, yeah.
And nod her head.
Yeah, and nod her head. That's
wave.
Her mic's muted. Oh, that's to keep the echo down?
Yeah. We don't. No one wants to hear from her anyway. And then of course.
And if you do, you can hear her from your mic because she's right across the room.
Yeah, she can. Yeah, have to raise her voice a little bit. Sorry, I mean nuts. Delicious.
Okay.
And then of course we have Lewis Bright Raven. Lewis, accolades, please.
I've worked with Marvel, Randy Zero Comics, TSR Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, Pinnacle Games, Ramon Studio, Constellation Studio since 1993. Self-published, all kinds of stuff.
And tonight, see here, hold on one second. I have messages. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I thought we had messages. We do, but okay.
It's just your gang saying hello.
So yeah, as you guys know, this week I was at a convention in South Dakota, a convention called Sioux City That's what it is. In Sioux Falls, called SuperCon. Um, Here's my lanyard from SuperCon. They went all out. They put words on the lanyard.
That's a mighty big yellow lanyard.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Hello to Ted and Dave.
SuperCon 4, The Wrath of Khan. And I was there. It's a charity convention. The money goes to helping a bunch of different charities, but one of the ones they even had charities there helping. But literacy for adults, cancer, just a lot of 100% of proceeds go off to those different charities, and it was a good show. I'll be honest with you guys, I was a little worried on Friday. If you talked to me on Friday, I was probably not in the best of moods. And then came Saturday. Saturday was a little, I'd say, to be fair, Saturday was a little shaky for the first 20 minutes. And then we started, seeing customers come in and people just wanting to talk, and we really had a good time. Sunday was more of the same. So I definitely like the show, and I definitely will probably be going back next year. It's a 13-hour drive, but well worth it in my opinion.
Really well worth it, huh?
Yeah, really well worth it. I thought it was a good show. I can't complain. Better than a show I went to the week before that, where I got told to grab my ankles, basically.
What are you drinking out of it? What kind of cup is that?
I am drinking alcohol out of an Iron Man cup. I figured apropos.
Okay. I couldn't tell if that was Iron Man or Daredevil.
Yeah.
What costume it is.
Yeah. It's Iron Man. Taste that sweet stark juice. Sounds nasty. Anyway, so that's one of the, and I'll tell you this, guys, the drive to South Dakota, very interesting drive. Found out something. South Dakota does not have a lot of cops. What they do have is a lot of cameras.
Your mic dropped just a little.
Oh. Can you hear me? Hear me better now?
A little better.
Okay. They do have a lot of cameras, and those cameras pick up everything, and they report everything. And it's pretty bad. They so you can get a ticket a week later. Yes, Jesse, I'm drinking booze out of Iron Man cup. It's all the rage. And I'll tell you guys how. So I discovered that I like wine. I'm not a big wine drinker. I'm not a big drinker, despite the fact that I own a company called Last Call Comics. I'm not a big drinker. But Friday night, Lola and myself were looking for someplace to eat, and there recently been a tornado. 4 tornadoes have touched down in Sioux Falls, and so some of the city had been, some places were messed up and obviously closed. So we kept driving around. We wanted to find someplace local that no one had heard of to eat, and we ended up finding this little unknown place called Olive Garden. Don't know if you heard of it, but we went to Olive Garden, and they happened to be doing wine samples, and the gentleman offered me Moscato, and I'm like, okay, I'll try that. And he gives me the Moscato, and I love it. He told me it was $6.50 a glass. Knowing that, I knew I wasn't going to have any more. At $6.50 a glass, it wasn't happening. So he tried to sell me the bottle for $20-something. And I thought, I don't have it on me right now. I don't want to spend a bunch of money. $21 is quite a bit for a bottle of wine. Well, your boy lucked out, because I went to Sam Walton's place as Walmart, and I found a bottle for $10 of the same shit. Shut up. It was the same bottle of the same Moscato. So if you wanted me to draw something for you, let me bottle of Moscato. I can't now. You should probably have me draw before you bring me the bottle of Moscato. Otherwise, everything I draw you gonna have a penis on it.
Oh, you turn to Mike Diana when you get drunk. Okay, we got that now.
Delicioso. Um, so anyway, yeah, that was my weekend, guys. I was at this con, and I did have a good time. Um, everyone else preparing to go down to New York Comic Con this week. A lot of big news probably coming out of there this weekend. And we will be there to cover. We won't be there, but we'll be around to cover it. Um, should we hop into our first questions?
Up to you.
Alrighty, let's see here. And this is a Comic Con related question. We are hopping right into it. And sorry, I got a new mouse, everyone. So
He's trying to learn how to use his computer.
yeah. All right, Randy, could you read that?
As an exhibitor, any advice on how to discern if an upcoming Comic Con is going to be a shit show? Well, not really. Not if it, especially not if it's a first time show.
Yeah.
It's spin the wheel.
What is he defining as a shit show? I mean, there's different.
I would imagine that would be a show where he didn't make any money.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the defining factor, then yeah, okay. Geez, I don't know. Yeah.
Is it called Fantastica?
Oh, how much of that wine have you drunk, buddy?
That's his fifth bottle. And he had to have a fifth. I'll be right back.
I would say look out for poor advertising. If you don't see any advertising, there's a chance you're going to go to setting up for a show that's going to be a disaster.
Well, it's real hard to see, too, because if you're driving in from out of town, you're not going to know exactly how much advertising has been done. So
that is true. That is true.
Sometimes you'll get a vibe about a show that you'll think will be a shit show. But you never know. It only takes one good customer to turn a shit show into a good show. So
I don't know. I mean, I would agree with that. There have been times where I had a customer come through, get a commission, and it made the weekend for me. But generally, I think the things you want to watch out for. I mean, there's a couple of things you can do to kind of set yourself up. Set up your expectations. For example, you could maybe go to the Facebook, see how many people, or if people are interacting with the Facebook, how many posts, if the Facebook has likes. Sorry, my computer's going crazy. If the Facebook has likes, if people are engaging with the content on the Facebook, on a personal website, check out their Twitter if they have a Twitter. How many people are engaging with their Twitter? There's a couple things you can do, and to help you kind of set expectations. But even then, there are shows that are legacy shows. Like, for instance, I don't ever remember seeing much advertisement for Motor City Comic Con.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's been lots of it, but
I mean, the last 10 years.
No, they do a lot of radio ad. They do a little bit of TV ad, but a lot of their stuff is newspaper. I've seen a lot of free press coverage on that. You don't really have to run an ad. You just have to tell the free press you're going to be there, and they write up a big article or throw up a full page or anything that's comic book related. They'll run a tag on it. They'll do like Marvel's best 100 comics or whatever's on their wired service at the time, and then they'll go, for more on comic books, you can stop by Motor City. Coming up and giving their dates. I've seen that happen in the free press a couple of times.
From the Ask Me Anything app, we have a comic shop owner who says that basically it is not his responsibility.
Hang on, you're losing again. You need to jiggle your wire a minute.
Ew.
That didn't sound PG-13, did it?
No. How about now?
That much better.
Okay. We got a letter from a comic shop owner who says, as a shop owner, It is not his responsibility to sell the comics. His responsibility ends with putting the books on the shelf. It's up to DC and DC, Marvel, and the publishers to promote the book. The people.
Then we don't need you. Goodbye. That's that simple. That's all I got to say to him.
That's it.
Retailers are the marketing force of this industry. If they don't want to sell the books they order, goodbye. Get out. You're not worth being in the business.
Well, do you think, though? Do you think? I mean, let's look at the attitude the man's taking. Okay. He thinks that the stores, the promoters, the publishers, I'm sorry, the publishers should be getting people involved to come into the stores.
Everybody should be getting involved. Fans should be getting involved and talking to each other in stores and talking to each other on books on all sorts of platforms. They don't. I don't know what you guys do when you go to comic shops. When I go into a comic shop, everybody's like, "Give me my books, I'll pay for them," and they're out the door like they're ashamed to be in the building.
No, I
used to be I could be in out there 4 or 5 hours talking to people.
I've done that. I've done that to much Lola's chagrin. I've stayed in the comic store for quite a while. But I will say this. I think that
I'm not saying that the publishers and creators don't hold a share of the responsibility as well. But the retailers.
I just got to laugh at that, Lewis.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Laugh at it.
It's all their responsibility, buddy.
You think it's all their responsibility?
No, well, the large majority of it is. There are retailers out there that are like anti-independent and feel that they know exactly what their clientele is and is not, and cater specifically to a small group. But a lot of that product's got to be saleable.
Lewis, do you think, Lewis, that if these stores with this shop owner who has that attitude, do you think, and I'll tell you what store it is when we go off the air.
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Lewis seems to run into a lot of angry retailers.
Do you think that do you think that once those stores go away, the cream of the crop stores will rise?
No, because we've lost so many retailers as it is that there's just not enough retailers supporting the structure right now anyway. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to rebuild the market to do everything.
And how did that happen?
What happened? How did the market collapse, or what happened
to all the retailers?
I think some of them ran out of money. I know very few who just got tired. You know what? I remember. I don't want to say his name, but I was in during the first Bush administration, his first 4 years, during the recession. Comic shop owner, he told me, he says, "Well, I hear comics are recession proof." And
in the old days, they used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when comics thrived. Comics started during the Depression.
Right.
Comics thrived during World War I. They thrived again during Vietnam.
Ralph says, not the smartest business plan. Of course, there's so much out there on the stands, and there is. I mean, we do have a lot of people to choose from.
There is.
And it's just the local comic shop better adapt to the industry. And I think that as long as they can adapt, as long as they're willing to adapt. But the gentleman, they wrote the letter.
Most of them seem to be adapting into other things like role-playing games, Funko dolls, other things besides comics.
And a lot of these stores have been programmed not to adapt. Mm-hmm. That Diamond has constantly said superheroes sell. Superheroes are the only thing that sells. You want to carry superheroes. Mm-hmm. So that when a unique book or especially a quality book comes out, I think Bone is a prime example. If you can remember back that far, that took forever to catch on because it was a quality book. Luckily, Jeff Smith kept it out there, but I'm sure there were times he was discouraged and was thinking, why am I doing this when I'm not moving books?
That was when I was doing the Bright Raven bet, when I was saying, okay, you will carry 25 copies of Bone.
With what?
The Bright Raven bet.
What Bright Raven bet?
From 92 to 95, I go into every damn comic shop I went to and said, you're going to order these books, this many copies, equal to X-Men, equal to Superman.
Never heard of it. No wonder you run into so many angry retailers.
Yeah, well, that's what
You go in there and try to
into.
tell them how to do business. That's great. A
That's
bright raven bet.
Yes, and the bet was, I'll come into the store when those books come in, and I'll market them and sell them for you. Since you don't want to, you just want to sit them on the shelf and let them sit there. And if I sell out of the books before you sell out of your X-Men or your Superman or whatever the popular book was at the time, I get not the cover value, but the
Nobody would take you up on that.
oh, they did.
Did you get met with any like anger from like shop
Sure,
owners?
I did.
Sure, out of my store.
No, sure, I did. They got mad when I promoted Bone, Strangers in Paradise, A Distant Soil, Wandering Star. I'm trying to think of the name of the one. The one that
Ralph Griffith says most stores are run by collectors and fans of old and are hard pressed on their budget.
Sure, but the bet was if I didn't sell out, I'd buy all the books at double cover price too, whatever was left over.
How'd that work out for you?
I won about 75% of the time, but that's because I was in there working my ass off selling.
How many times did you do it?
682 times.
You went into 682 different comic shops and
In 18 different states between 1990.
I'm sorry, Lewis, I don't believe you.
Well, that's fine. I don't care.
Now your number is way off.
That's a lot of stores.
That's a lot of stores. Yeah. And it took you what, a year to do that?
3 years.
3 years.
92, 93, 94 years. 92, 95.
If any retailer out there remembers that Bright Raven bet, please let us know.
There were a ton of stores at one point, and it's sad. We lost.
There were well over 3,000 stores at one point for quite a while. I think even 6,000 when Diamond first took over.
It's sad we lost all those.
Is Number One Comics still around in Flint or Mount Pleasant?
I don't know what you're talking about. Number One Comics. There's never been a Number One Comics in Flint. Never. Never.
Maybe they were in Bay City then. I don't know. I know they were in Mount Pleasant, but there was another one.
Industry is. Oh, Randy, I'm sorry. I'm taking.
Industry is doing just fine. Yeah, right. How come all these idiot writers have Patreons and GoFundMes? I got a new one for them. GoFyourselves.com.
Well, it's not writers. I mean, it's the artists too. I mean,
A lot of these guys are running GoFundMes to have sandwiches.
Yeah. There's a lot of people doing Patreon and GoFundMe and Kickstarter and Indiegogo and everything else.
I should start a GoFundMe for a bottle of wine every week. I just think
that's what Patreon's for.
Patreon for Biscotto.
Yeah. Do you guys think that? Is that what it takes now?
What?
Do we have to go into stores? Okay. The retailers. I know, Lewis. You believe the retailers are largely at fault. Not every retailer, but
they're partly at fault. They're not. I don't want to put all the blame on their shoulders. I mean, hell, look at what Image did at the time. They were flooding the market with a lot of books.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't even putting the books out on time. That hurt a lot of retailers because they were tying up their money, at that time.
Because I guess you guys know I was born in the 90s, so I was born in the 80s, but I was raised in the 90s.
You were born in the 90s? I thought you were a little older than that.
Sorry, it's the Roscato kicking in already. But I guess I think of it like this: if I own a movie theater and it's in a good part of town, okay, and I'm showing good movies, my theater is safe.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And no one's coming. Don't I get a chance to blame Hollywood for putting out a piss poor month of movies? You don't think so? Like, shouldn't I be able to say, "Hey, Hollywood, hey, what's going on? My movies are sucking, man. Nobody's coming to see this shit. I need help. I'm about to start running porn. I'm gonna start running porn very soon here because I'd run if I
that was the early '80s.
Yeah,
that was the early 80s. I thought you were talking about comics and
because that's kind of what happened before Star Wars sprung up. You had a lot of these houses decide to be art houses.
Well, I was gonna say because isn't that the same thing with the comics? Like the comic shop, like I own a comic shop. Fans aren't coming.
Mm-hmm.
Don't I get to say, "Hey, Marvel, DC, especially Marvel, because Marvel's supposed to be the head of the industry. Okay, um, guys, you need to figure out a way to get people in here buying these books, excited about these books, and the people you're trying.
You own a theater or you own a comic shop.
Well, yeah, I was just using that as a
Well, the reason you brought those two together.
Mhm.
There's a gentleman up in Alpena, Michigan, by the name of Bob Lefevre, who has a comic shop and theater combo now. And up in Sheboygan, there used to be Comics North, which was run by David Elliott before it got burned down in 2012. It was directly across the street from the movie theater, and he ran the movie theater too. And he could tell you that it didn't help one bit. All these Marvel movies, all these DC movies didn't help his comic shop one bit. They wouldn't help. They wouldn't even cross the street to go get the books. It was very strange. But then again, he had another problem, and that problem was when you order 3 months ahead of time and you don't know whether or not you're going to get the movie from the movie distributors until 10 days before the movie is released. How are you going to order enough books to guarantee what you're going to possibly get from a movie? You can't, and you can't risk that. So he didn't do a lot of ordering. So that probably helped him, affected him too.
I mean, I
See,
would.
What I'm getting at is there's a dichotomy that's not congruent with what's going on in getting comics into real world people's hands versus fandom's hands, because fandom is a very niche audience, and the question is, do you want fandom or do you want to reach mass audience?
Interesting question and interesting point of view. Lola, I'm just kidding. She's like, I just stand at the table and sell your books.
Ralph asks, when was the last time you have seen a big time comic book ad?
What do you mean by a big time comic book ad?
In the mass media, probably.
There was.
I get like. It's connected to the TV shows, but they advertise the CW shows on my radio network, and then they advertise one of the comic shops in conjunction with it. So
there was DC did run some ads for their comics on TV, but it was only during CW related programming. But I want to say this: they don't do it nearly as much as they should have.
They used to run cooperative ads, but they cut that out.
Yeah. And then speaking of that, guys, I sent this to Randy Lewis. I didn't get a chance to show it to you. I was in Best Buy today picking up a movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming, and guess what I got? Guess what's new at Best Buy?
A Batman graphic novel and original movie year one. Okay.
Yeah, and this comes with the year one movie and the graphic novel together.
Okay.
This particular one here comes with the graphic novel, the original movie.
So basically, all the movies that they made DVD versions of, they put them with trade collections now.
But they sweeten the pot one more time. They sweeten the pot once more, because with these purchases, with each one, I get 30 days of DC Universe streaming, free.
Okay.
Now I already have DC Universe streaming, so this doesn't do me any good. But when we talk about that cross-platform,
cross-pollination, yeah.
Randy, you said when I showed you this, it was a clever idea.
I thought it was very clever. Probably invented by the marketing guy that was fired like a week or so after, and DC cuts. Yeah. Because that would be about right for how long that took that landed in stores. So the guy who come up with that, or girl that came up with that, was probably let loose. But I thought it was pretty ingenious.
Yeah,
it's a nice package.
All for $10, by the way.
All for $10.
Are they for sale or just on sale for $10, or were they?
That's the regular price.
Oh,
where'd you find those at Walmart?
Best Buy.
Okay.
So
you didn't even find them at Walmart, so that's cool too.
Yeah.
Because you would think that they would be at Walmart considering their 100-page deal.
Best Buy, right in the movie section, actually.
Good.
Yeah. And
good. I hope it does some good.
Yeah, I hope it does too. But and I don't have a copy of year one or Into the Red Hood, so got the books now. I probably get the DVDs to my son, but I thought the 30 Days of Streaming was pretty good. So
It would be interesting to see if those are unabridged, those graphic novels.
should I open one?
No, don't open them up just for that, because you'd have to have a copy of the other book just to compare them side to side.
Okay.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they were, you know, cut out here and there, made a little bit more family friendly, like the 100 pagers were.
Mm-hmm. I talked to a gentleman in South Dakota, and he told me that he fears that the comic book bubble has burst.
Well, he's only about 10, maybe 15 years late for that if you're talking the mainstream.
Yeah, I'd say 2000.
The only thing that's been keeping that alive is variant covers and gimmicks, events.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
I see.
But there's room. I know there's room out there, and there's enough retailers still. There's still, what, 16 or 1,700 of them left.
Yeah.
There's still enough to move some new product if somebody wanted to kick out or try something different. It's just that everything that I see out there now all looks the same, especially from the independent guys. They're still doing the stuff that the bigger guys couldn't sell.
Ralph says none of
the advertising other than local is general or is geared to get people into a comic book store. Yeah, that's true.
He also says, like, pick up these and more exciting stories at the local comic book shop, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I the only time that I thought was kind of cool. I know Dennis Barger. Matter of fact, Dennis recently bought a movie theater. There's going to be a movie theater.
Right. I've seen him advertise it.
But I know that Dennis was able to get exclusive covers for his store, and for a while, a lot of stores are offering exclusive covers.
No, it's still available.
Is it?
Yeah, that's regular thing now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the stuff that
that keeps the books alive.
Ethan's tied into on Vampirella. That's the same idea.
Mm-hmm.
He does his own. Only he does his own cover and sells it as if he was a local comic shop. That's the same basic program.
I see.
So it's that these companies have set approved artists, you know, that they'll allow or that they'll negotiate with to do the covers.
Mm-hmm.
And Dynamite's more flexible.
Want to talk to you guys about something else that broke this week. I seen an article. I don't have it up pulled. I could pull it up. I can find it. But it says, "Is it time to cancel J. Scott Campbell?" Lola says no.
Cancel J. Scott Campbell.
Is it time to cancel him? Is it time for him to stop getting work in the comics industry?
Why?
Because he draws women in a way.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. Yeah, the same thing with Frank Cho.
Yeah.
And
that was an article.
Morodo and all of these other sexy women artists.
Yeah, I'll link you to the article, Lewis, later. You can read it at your leisure.
There's so much worse than that. I mean, I don't know. And it's not like Campbell does much of anything other than covers these days. So
that's probably all he's left to do.
Yeah, he probably can do it, but everybody won't give him a book.
Yeah.
Well, at least
they know his covers will sell, so he does what? How many? A half a dozen a year?
Oh, he does more than that.
He does a lot. He does a lot of work, but he kind of just floats it all down his site. Oh, there we go. He kind of floats it through his site, and
he does his own exclusive covers too. Then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's a good artist. He gave some poor indie artist gave that guy's wife a lanyard with his art on it, and this bitch of a wife of his wears the lanyard to cons with this man's art around her neck. Yeah, it's really disrespectful.
Suddenly we know who.
It's really disrespectful.
Really disrespectful?
Yeah. Really.
That's not an article. That's a video.
Yeah, I thought it was an article. Somebody wrote an article about the video, and I can't find that now. So.
Yeah, it's probably an opinion piece. There's a lot of those out there.
Do we all need an anatomy lesson? Do we need to stop drawing women so sexy?
Some of these guys do.
Lola says no.
I mean, I don't mean stop drawing them sexy. I mean need anatomy lessons. Some of those breasts don't look quite real.
Yeah.
Too many circle templates out there, and not enough,
Yeah.
not enough realistic bounce.
Low model for them. Sure, somebody posted out. Lewis is.
There we go.
Um,
Suddenly, Black Belt Perez is smiling.
um, we talked about this. Guys, here we go. Everybody, buckle into your seats.
The topic of your discussion?
One of the topics. Got to bring it up. Lewis brought it to my attention this week, and a friend of mine, Matthew Thornton, brought it up on his personal Facebook, his post. Kickstarter, which is everyone knows what Kickstarter is.
Mm-hmm.
They recently decided that they were going. Well, they didn't decide, but a group of workers there want to unionize.
At Kickstarter?
At Kickstarter. They have a dream of unionizing. And Kickstarter ain't having it. Kickstarter is like, screw that. We're not doing it. People have come out. People have come out to point the finger at Kickstarter, and they've wrote letters, and they've wrote group letters. One of the group letters was actually signed by Anita Sarkeesian. And and it's basically
very anti-Kickstarter.
Very anti-Kickstarter. You guys, why aren't you letting people have a union? And now people don't want to. They're saying that it's actually hurting their campaigns because people don't want to.
Let me get this right. The people at Kickstarter want to form the union.
Right, but the bosses.
Not the people who have campaigns.
Right.
The people inside Kickstarter want to form a union.
Right, the word.
Correct.
Okay.
And the bosses are like, hell no. And
I guess the working situation at Kickstarter needs to be called into question, eh?
Actually, the boss is more like, oh hell no! I haven't used that in a while.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we're gonna use that.
And they don't want them to start a union, and they actually fired 2 people.
Did they?
They were like leads, and they were like union rep. They were like 2 of the leaders of Revolution. And people are upset, and people are talking about not funding or backing projects on Kickstarter.
Well, that's a shame because that hurts the creators. Doesn't hurt Kickstarter that much. It only hurts Kickstarter 7%, I think.
Yeah,
probably, or more than that. Is it 7 or 9? I think it might even be 9%.
It's somewhere between 6 and 9 now. But
yeah,
Lewis, does Kickstarter need a union? I mean, we don't know what the workers there are doing. I'm imagining, like you said earlier, but
I don't know. I don't know because I don't know what the actual infrastructure of Kickstarter is. I would definitely think they would need it if they were the ones fulfilling the orders, but they're not fulfilling the orders. All they're doing is holding the money until it's being distributed to the creator. So I don't really know.
I would have to say that it would call Kickstarter's employee policy into question if they feel that they need to unionize. There might actually be something wrong at Kickstarter.
Yeah, there might be, but I haven't seen or heard anything about that.
Or it could just be some guys that think a union might be cool.
Right.
Well, I want to say this. If anybody from Kickstarter listens to this show, I want to tell you guys something. First of all, I've worked in union plants, and yeah, enough said about that. But you guys probably don't want a union. Let me tell you why. Because I'm telling you right now, sometimes unions will try to get into your facilities, and so they can take it over like a virus. I'm not anti-union, by the way, but they take it over, and you guys are paying union dues, and you're gonna start bitching about that pretty soon. You're gonna start bitching about how much the union dues is. But then I want you guys to consider this: what happens when somebody gets sexually inappropriate? And you have to go to HR to get the bastard out of there, but you can't because he's got a union rep in there who gets him right back in there the next day. And what happens when you have a union rep. These guys, I know that they think they're going to get free insurance, or they're going to get insurance, they're going to get better medical coverage. I get that, but it's just not going to work. And two, who's going to suffer from this? I guarantee you, if they unionize, Kickstarter is going to introduce a bigger fee.
Yes.
And it won't stop there. It won't stop there. No, they unionize, and Indiegogo's going to unionize.
Which, of course, leads us back to what Randy was saying for the last few weeks about how comics is probably going to end up making their own brand of fundraiser format.
I'm surprised it hasn't already started. That there haven't been a couple of people out there that have tried to start their own crowdfunding campaign. Their own crowdfunding companies, I should say.
Ralph Griffith says, people have a right to gather to voice their concerns. A union is only as strong as its members. I can agree with that, but I gotta tell you, from everything that on the surface, I don't think Kickstarter needs a union.
And again, we don't know how the working conditions are.
Right.
Obviously, Kickstarter's taken some offense to it if they've canned two of their workers. They said something that Kickstarter didn't want them to say.
And I'll tell you this, they are standing staunchly against it.
Any idea how many employees Kickstarter actually has?
No.
Let's see here. I will look up the information for you.
Because, we're not talking like a major auto plant. Our auto plants up here are on strike.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a reason. There's a reason for that. They made a lot of money, and they're not spreading it around. And 150?
152 people.
Yeah. Is that 150 now?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Too soon? Sorry. Just asking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Kickstarter.
There might be an opening there.
Yes, there is. They say we're hiring right on their HR page.
There you go.
Check this
Hiring
out.
pliable people. Here in Michigan, we've got a right to work state now, thanks to our former Governor Snyder. And that means that these companies can ride over their employees however they want.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, Monica's been attested that to see how she's been treated at her last job. But, what can you do? You can... you can fight for better conditions or talk or you threaten to unionize. These here in this state, they can let people go for talking to unionize and just they're done. It's all within the corporate right because it's a right to work state.
I want to read this to you guys. It says Kickstarter CEO Aziz Hassan sent in an email to staff Friday explaining why the company fired 2 staff members and laid off another who played an instrumental role in organizing a union at the company. Hassan insisted that the firings were related specifically to job performance issues, not union organizing. Wink, wink, right?
That's what they always say.
We understand how these firings could be perceived, but it would be unfair to not hold these 2 employees to the same standards as the rest of our staff, he wrote. It's worth noting that since March, we've given raises to 14 people who have been public about the support for a union and promoted 3 of them. In his letter, Hassan asserts that management believes a union would hurt the company, and the union organizers have not made their complaints clear to the company. The union framework is inherently adversarial, he writes. That dynamic doesn't reflect who we are as a company, how we interact, how we make decisions, or where we need to go. We believe that in many ways it would set us back, and that the us versus them binary already has. If Kickstarter unionizes, it would be one of the first white-collar tech unions in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to keep that from happening because you can't have labor get organized. Then you have to actually pay them more than a living wage, and then you have a thriving economy. But that's a whole nother story. There are goods and bads points to unions, and the tech company is only 150 people. I don't know if that can't just be settled out by walking in, making an appointment in your boss's office, and actually voicing an opinion.
That's I think that's what Cezanne's saying,
You know,
basically.
and that sounds like what he's saying, that nobody's talked to him about it. You know,
Well,
because
and
a lot of these young startup corporations like that, they come up from nothing anyway.
well,
So if
this
somebody's not making it or they need better pay, it's just, you know, they're all pretty liberal.
they are pissed. The magazine Current Affairs has a different perspective. Because the union organizers were fired. Current Affairs happened to be in the middle of the Kickstarter campaign. As a left publication, we were appalled and didn't want to publicly support an anti-union company. We got together with our colleagues at Protein Magazine, Pinko Magazine, the Nib, and the Baffler, all of whom have done Kickstarter campaigns in the past, and released a statement condemning the firings and expressing solidarity with the union. We invited other Kickstarter project creators to join us on the statement, which hundreds did, including well-known creators like Neil Gaiman, Anita Sarkeesian, Molly Crabapple, and Richard Herring. Collectively, the creators on our statement have raised millions of dollars on the platform. My estimate is 10 million, but I stopped counting around 5. We were united in one, appreciating Kickstarter staff and the great platform they have created, and two, being firmly opposed to the company's anti-union activities and supportive of the workers' rights. As our campaign took off and started to attract press attention, I received a message from Kickstarter's chief communication officer. He asked me if I would like to talk on the phone so that he could address our concerns. He did not. We did not resolve anything on the conversation, but he said the company was thinking through how to respond, and he would be in touch. Saturday, Kickstarter offered its response. The communication officer emailed me and said he would like to share a statement from the CEO with the project creators. The statement said that Kickstarter, one, stood by its decision to fire the organizers and will be dispatching its lawyers to fight their claims. Two, would not voluntarily recognize a union, even if its vast majority of workers signed in support of one. And three, would not pledge to remain neutral on unionization and would continue to actively oppose the effort. The statement was the most blatant slap in the face imaginable to both the workers and the project creators. It says, in essence, drop dead. Um, this current affair says it means that we now have to cease using Kickstarter for our fundraising efforts. Who can possibly partner with a company that's actively and proudly trying to union bust?
Mm-hmm.
Why should we give 5% to our supporters' money to a corporation that will use it to hire lawyers and PR professionals to keep its workers from exercising their rights? And that is the problem I've been hearing from comic creators all week since, or not, well, not all week, but since this happened, since Lewis told me about
Right.
it, I've been hearing this. I can't put my comic on Kickstarter anymore. They're anti-union. They're union busters. Um, Help me, Randy. What happens? What? Talk
Well,
about.
you have two options. If you're not going to use Kickstarter, there's you can do
Indiegogo
Indiegogo, or you could do GoFundMe,
or Patreon. There's lots of
or
people with
for the
Patreon.
Patreon, almost the same problem. Um, they went through and restructured their policies a couple of months ago and ran into a little bit of difficulty. The other option is to start your own crowdfunding company.
Yep.
You know, how like I said, how long before somebody in comics starts that up?
Would you? I'm gonna put you guys both on the hot seat. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Randy. You're the CEO of Kickstarter. You stand in front of you. You walk into that 100 and now 50. Oh, sorry, 149, right? Because
No, it's 100. Let's just say 150.
you walk in there.
Uh-huh.
What do you tell them?
I'd get them all in a room. We'd have a nice chat.
Mm-hmm.
Doors always open. I'm sorry that somebody's dragged up this union biz, because I always thought we were a liberal company and more like a family, and that we always got along and talked to each other. If you guys feel like you can't talk to me, there's got to be a problem. So let's talk it out. Or here's my head of communications. Talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
you know, here's our communications head. Here's our labor's relation or HR or whatever. If you got a problem, you go to them. But another big thing to point out is that, like what you said earlier, if one tech company picks up a union, all the other tech companies are going to end up having to pick up a union. So that just bursts the door wide open. Nobody wants to start that because it could turn into a major mess.
So do you think that Lola, who's in charge of Indiegogo is on the phone with you and telling you, "Hey Zim, squash that shit over there. I don't like what I'm hearing."
No, I don't think they're in that kind of communication. I just think it's a mutually accepted attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Because a union gets their foot in the door, and that's been, they're going to follow. These companies are looking at whatever other type of corporations had to follow in the past, and the problems that it raised up, and obviously that's why they don't want a union. There's good reasons for unions, and there's bad reasons for unions.
Lewis, you in lockstep with Randy, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
150 people, though, that doesn't sound like that doesn't sound like an uncontrollable situation.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a couple of thousand people working for you, that you have a sweat box condition, and you're looking at people standing on the line from exhaustion, being treated as like slave labor, then yeah, there's a problem, and there probably needs to be a union.
Mm-hmm.
Or nowadays, though you don't have a lot of that condition here in the more modern plants, you've got people that are running into some horrible problems right now with having their health and their pensions pulled.
Yep.
These guys are out there striking because they got promised that these people that are on pensions, and I know a couple people that have literally had their pension cut in half, and that's crazy, stupid. Especially when they signed a contract saying that that's how much they're supposed to get.
Are you guys?
They're on fixed incomes, literally.
Right.
And now it's been halved.
Are you guys in support? Or are you guys against funding? Backing any projects on Indiegogo because of this?
Oh, you mean on Kickstarter?
You mean on Kickstarter? No. Because those aren't the people that you need to be complaining about. The Kickstarter has a personnel problem inside of Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. And if I'm donating to a Kickstarter campaign, I'm not donating to Kickstarter. I'm donating to the creators. The creators that are making a product that I want to buy into. Kickstarter is just an avenue that's going to take your 5, 7, or 9% or whatever they take in order to negotiate the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's only a matter of time before somebody else goes, "Hey, it might be time to start our own crowdfunding campaign or a crowdfunding company." How much does that take? It's not like you have to have capital, because you're just taking from the one guy and giving to the next guy, and keeping a little sliver for yourself.
You need a little to run the IT and the computer.
Oh yeah, well, there's always startup costs with any company, and if you're running a big corporation, you're going to have a lot of IT.
I mean, we know the Kickstarter can do it for 150 people.
Yeah.
You know they can do it, so.
And even that amount surprises me.
They had to build it to that. They didn't have it overnight.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Ted Davies says, in Michigan, the union is not a viable option. It's a mute point in corporate America. And I wonder if that happened. Because, they say Walmart will shut a store down.
Mm-hmm.
They start talking union.
Oh, they have policies in place.
Yeah.
To keep that from happening.
Would it be something if Kickstarter says, "Oh, we're moving to Michigan. We're out of here"?
If who? Kickstarter
says, "Hey, we're moving to Michigan."
In New York, yeah, they're based in New York. They could move to Michigan.
Yeah.
You never know.
Out of here. Doesn't take much to move.
I doubt that they would come to Michigan though, because Michigan's known as a union type state. So they probably run somewhere south, right? So, Tennessee or someplace like that.
Yeah.
There's an open Saturn plant, I would imagine, down there that they can bump into pretty easy.
So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the subject of today's show. It's fairly agreed upon that comics are for everybody. But should they be made for everybody, by everybody? Should comics be made? Should anybody be able to pick up a pencil and say, "Hey, I want to make a comic book"?
You can make a comic book, sure.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, can you market it and sell it?
Mm-hmm.
Those are two separate things.
I think my answer is that much like yours, can you market it, but are you aware of what you're doing? Have you taken time? Have you read a book? Have you done the research? Have you have you, to steal the phrase from Randy, have you gotten the education that is needed to go into this industry? I can't tell you guys how many guys I've worked with at Last Call who they get mad. And they can't hack it. And not just at Last Call, but all around, for other publishers I met who can't hack it after a year or two. They miss their family, they miss their, girlfriend, they miss their whoever.
Social life.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
can't they take it. And we talked about it on the show before, but I don't think people took it serious. That there's sacrifices and consequences to the life of being an independent comic creator, publisher, whatever. There are serious consequences, and you will face them.
Yep.
And they're very, very quickly, they will separate the strong from the weak very quickly. If you can't stand that, oh well, I can only do 2 cons a month, 2 cons a year. Okay, well, you're not gonna get out there that much then. I can only do I love to bring my, entire brood with me. That's fine, but understand that, you know, if you're going on a company's dime, Marvel, DC, whatever company, they're not gonna pay for your entire family to come, to a con with you. I got a chance to hang out with the guys from Volt Comics for a little while.
Bolt or Volt?
Volt, VAULT.
Oh, Vault.
Yeah, Vault Comics. And they were at South Dakota at SuperCon, and I looked at them and very nice guys. Table was very nicely, set up. Not a girlfriend in sight, not a crumb snatcher in sight. But I've gone to some shows, and I'm not saying you can't bring your kids or a spouse. Hell, I bring my wife to every show with me, but she runs the table, so I can step away. There is a consequence to this. You will be on the road. You will be, not home to see a couple of things. You might miss a birthday. My child turned 2 years old on the road at a Comic-Con because he had to go with me. Had no choice. We did have a babysitter, but they had to go with us. So they stayed in the hotel room, but he turned 2 on the road. And Randy, I know that you've given a lot to this industry to be able to create comics and be able to put out content. And it's one of those things where I don't think people think, oh well, those guys they don't know what they're doing. But and I imagine Lewis, you I mean look at you, look at him. That man's lost most of his hair. He's lost most of his hair.
Say what?
I said you look at him.
Let's not pick on hairlines, buddy.
What, my hair? There. I still got some. I'm not, don't worry, you'll be losing yours soon enough. That's why you keep wearing the coon hat.
Yeah. I just really want people to understand that there are consequences and sacrifices that have to come into play, and you will have to face them at some point when you're making comics.
You're going to have to face a lot of rejection in life, especially in this business, because whether you're trying to break into a company as a freelancer, whether you're trying to sell your books to Diamond or to publishers or to comic book retailers or to fans at conventions, you're going to face a lot of rejection, and you got to figure out how to segregate being rejected from your personal self. Otherwise, it can destroy you.
I think that Randy, and I told you about this. I seen a gentleman. Ralph says in it's a high tech world, so you need that guy in your business model.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Randy, we talked about this. We talked about a gentleman I know who went to a Comic Con, and sorry, I'm trying to get my phone out, and and a guy picked up his book, and the gentleman that picked up his book flipped through it, said, "Ill, this isn't for me," and unfortunately, that creator went to the bathroom
Mm-hmm.
for 30 minutes and bawled his eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't believe that someone was, so mean to him about his comic book.
I don't know if anybody that doesn't or hasn't at least felt that way. I don't think they physically ran to the bathroom and cried for a half an hour, but
Yeah.
you
Hey,
know,
John.
that's all part of that rejection that you have to grow thick skin for.
Yeah. I mean,
Hello, John Norris. How you doing, Gabe? Cantu, thanks for coming.
just because someone says the book isn't for them doesn't mean they're rejecting you. I mean,
It doesn't mean that the next 15 people that walk by aren't going to fall in love with it.
yeah.
So.
I don't. I think what makes you get emotionally affected or ill is maybe the way some people express themselves towards us as creators. And it's not so much. I mean, if someone just says, "Well, yeah, I looked at your work. It's not for me." Okay, you don't think anything of it. But if they said something in a rather aggressive, nasty tone to you about, that maybe that would be, but the way you expressed it, no, I wouldn't be affected. But I've seen people say some very unacceptable things. I don't want to repeat things I've heard. I think we've all had people say some stuff to us. It's just like, really, so.
Everyone's a critic.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever feel like, do you get upset when you see someone not taking the industry seriously? I don't know a better term, but like,
what do you mean by that?
Like, you see somebody, you look over and it's somebody and they've got like, they come to the show. And I remember once I was at Wizard World, there was a guy, he had it was a bunch of teenagers. It must have been about 9 of them, Lola, and they were loud and obnoxious, and their art style was all both of like Akira Toriyama, at the creator of Dragon Ball Z. For those of you like, their art style was totally like his, and they were all shirtless, and the guys were. It would have been cool if the girls were, but they weren't. And they were all screaming and yelling, and it must have been 8 of them behind one artist alley table. I shit you not. And it was annoying. So
basically, there was no adult supervision.
No adult supervision, and it upset me. It upset me.
Well, yeah.
There was no con security to tell them to calm down?
None whatsoever. I know that a couple publishers kind of went to staff and said, "Hey, these kids over here, it's like 8 of them behind the table. Mm-hmm. Like they're sitting there, they were sitting on each other's laps, 3 to a chair at one point." And
see, I mean, why were they there?
Selling their art, selling their book. They didn't have a book; they had art.
Okay, because I've seen I got a friend named Greg Hatcher who teaches comic book art, and he takes his students to the shows, and they have to go out and be at the table and do sketches and sell, but they have their book to sell.
Right.
And and of course him and his wife are there as chaperones, so it's a lot different. That's why I was asking: is this something that just, are they just that much of a screw up situation that they don't know how to operate?
It upset me because I've seen somebody not taking the business seriously.
Right. Sure.
And you're going to get that at every con, though.
Yeah, there's always somebody who's not too serious. I mean,
I guess
I think I would say more people are more annoying when they do stuff like get a bullhorn and start hawking their stuff from everybody, or I mean, it's okay.
Play loud music on a radio.
Yeah, or something that's really excessive and distracting to everybody else.
Mhm.
There, that would be just as bad, and more common.
Or we've talked a few weeks ago about somebody standing outside their table and hawking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was right.
Yeah.
That's another example.
It crashed again. Lola's crashed again.
Uh-oh.
Her computer leaves much to be desired. I think that let's see. Ralph says, sometimes your first time out as a young guy is a learning the ropes and courtesies. And that is true.
Yeah.
I just shake my hand and say, to each their own, I guess. Now,
Yeah, that's not good when you're there to try to make money and they're there just to have a good time.
and I want the statement that I made about people bringing their families. If you can make it work, more power to you, because there are people who make it work. Dave Brown is one of the people who makes it work. He's not in the chat right now, I don't believe, but Dave Brown makes it work. Dave Brown brings his family. They're very involved in it, in the sale and even the creation of work.
Right, but that's because his book's about the Brown family.
Right.
It's kind of a selling point.
Right. If he starts making books about, the killer that, the killer that came from the closet, well, then the family probably shouldn't be there. But there you go. But now, having said that, guys, there's Terry Huddleston brings his family a lot. Terry has Terry has a 20-foot banner, 20-foot. I always joke, 20 foot up, 20 foot across.
There's a lot of guys who have those huge banner walls and walls of prints and stuff like that.
To some they're Bane, others, much like Ralph, to each their own. But you can't. It does suck being next to them sometimes.
Yeah,
I've been lucky in that I've never been next to anybody with a huge print wall. I have been next to Eric before, Eric Hodgson, but Ted says Christina's very well behaved at cons. She's had a lot of retrieve. And that's the thing. If you can turn your wife into your salesperson, hey man, go ahead and do it. Ralph says make your concern known to them and see what action they take. Yeah, they might try to fight you in the parking lot, man. I don't know.
Yeah, most of them don't really care. And if you mention it to the con promoters, it just causes troubles too. So,
everybody, check out my new mouse. I don't know if I showed everybody yet.
That's your new mouse?
I thought it was his new electric shaver when he first showed it to me.
This is the new mouse.
Yeah, all right.
It sits up like this, and I hold it like this. It's going to help with the carpal tunnel. And the guy told me, he says, it's going to take you a while to get used to it because of the pivoting you have to do. It's not the same. But I'll be honest with you, as an artist, this is the way I pivot anyway when I'm drawing. So this is great. I picked right up on this.
I was going to say, you draw with your mouse?
Some people do.
Yeah. They got to hold that line down. And so that being said, Randy, how do you feel about that? I mean, you made sacrifices. What advice would you give some young guy right now who said, man, I'm thinking about giving it up. This comic shit ain't happening for me.
Well, if you don't have a thick skin, you're not going to last. But it's a matter of whether you feel that you have to be here. If you have that drive and that passion, you're going to be here anyway, or regardless. So you're going to figure out a way, even if you might have to try a couple of different ways to stay and be in this business. So.
And even if you get driven out of the business, it might push you into something else. I mean, I can remember when Randy was with Caliber and Guy Davis and Vince Locke were doing The Realm and doing Baker Street, and Guy used to have a pink mohawk, and he had the very much the punk look with, and people would sit there and say stuff about him. They wouldn't say it to his face because Guy was pretty tough looking guy back then. But I heard people say stuff about him just because of his look. and it was just like they wouldn't buy the comics because it was look, and I thought that was foolish.
Yeah.
You know,
Ralph, that was answered at the start of the show.
Yeah, it was a good show, Ralph. I was very happy with Saturday and Sunday's numbers. 13-hour trip there, about a 15-hour trip back, because apparently the way that you go to South Dakota is not the way you come back from South Dakota. So, you know, when you find yourself in Nebraska, it's like, where, why am I in Nebraska?
Did you suddenly find yourself in Nebraska?
Yeah,
You had to go see corn, didn't you?
yeah.
yeah.
Is it what I said? Were you on the other side of?
I thought it was in downstate of Illinois.
Did you get to the other side of Omaha and see all the corn and the flat lines?
No, none of that.
Okay.
I was really kind of shocked about just how many. First of all, I'm now convinced that Wisconsin has the foothold on Uline.
On the what?
Uline, the company.
Yeah.
They have like 5 or 6 large Uline offices there, and
they probably have central warehouses there.
Yeah, I get my bags and stuff from the Uline, and I know they do have a pickup policy. I'm like, well, the next time I'm in Rosemont, Illinois, I'm just gonna shoot over there and pick my bags up and go back to the con, because it was like an hour drive from Rosemont, so I could have picked my bags and been done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very good con. A lot of enthusiastic fans, big wrestling anime crowd. Honestly, I did come across people who the people who did like the comic bought them. I had a gentleman come by and pick up one comic each of everything I had. So that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. That makes you feel good when that happens.
Yep.
I've been attacked by my desk. Did you guys see that?
No.
Well, I'm glad it was on tape so everyone could see it. I just got attacked by the voltage box. It fell into my chair.
Oh.
Somehow. Yeah.
No more voltage for you.
Yeah, it just attacked me with the voltage box.
Yeah, well, that voltage isn't independent anymore.
Yeah.
Suddenly now we know how your hair got straight.
Oh yeah. I touched the voltage box and that was it. But yeah, it was a fantastic show. I plan on going back next year and any other year that they'll have me.
That's cool.
But there's also a lot of casinos around there. And one lady told me, she's a sweetheart. Those ain't casinos. I mean, they've got slot machines.
They're not casinos?
They're not casinos.
They're probably just little box stores.
Yeah. She's like, you can go in there and you can play. And you might win, $100, $200. But get the hell out once you do. Otherwise, the house always wins.
Are they digital or are they old fashioned?
A little bit of both. The one inside of the BP was old fashioned. Actually, lever pulled.
Yeah.
Lever pulled and old reels.
Did it shoot out quarters or tickets?
It shot out tokens actually.
Tokens. Okay.
Yeah. You have to transfer.
Yeah. Every state has different laws.
Yeah.
Here in Michigan, they're geared to. They all have to pay out at the same percentage rate, no matter if they're Indian or corporate owned. And the state, supposedly watches over that on a very regular basis.
Yep.
But yeah, there's been a lot of the when I was up north, I noticed there were a lot of box stores that the Ojibwa and the Keewatin people have taken over, and put little casinos in. And they were real small. They must have just popped in within the last 3 or 4 years because most everything there was electronic. I mean, real hardcore, all digital electronic. Most of them had brand new games. The two that I was at had just super new games. And I sat there next to a lady at that played Invasion of the Planet Moolah, that ended up hitting a huge amount. If you've never played that game, it's awesome. Cows and flying saucers, zapping the reels and stuff. It's just crazy. And if you play low, you can play forever on that. Just pretty close to forever on that game. But she was hitting and ended up getting the Unicow, which is and it's a cartoon game anyway. It's a lot of fun.
Right.
It's got a cow with a horn in the middle of it, and it's really rare. And she hit it. And when you hit the Unicow, you get 400 free spins. And she was just giggling, sitting there laughing, watching all of this stuff go on, and the bells and whistles were rolling, and the zapping was going on. She ended up walking out with 2,500
Randy,
out of a $2 bet. And they had people, I mean, people from the office or from the counting room or whatever, from the back room walking in and looking at her constantly, you know, watching. And, you know, by the end of the night, for some reason, that game was shut down. But
Yeah, gee, I wonder why.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, somebody said somebody hit for a lot larger amount the day before. So maybe, you know, who knows. But it was a fun game.
No, the reason I asked about that was because when I lived in Vegas, or lived in Nevada rather, my mom used to go play the slots, and I don't know how she could do it, but she could actually hear the mechanisms on the reel machines and tell you when something was going to hit, and could get on the machine and hit the damn jackpot.
On some of the games, that they have signals. They'll have tells, but by that point, it's too late. By the time you push that button, your where the reels are going to land has already been predetermined.
Yep.
So you can just go, oh, the machine blinked. I'm going to get something, you know. But that's about as good as you can, as good as you get. And everything's on a hardcore randomizer.
She used to win about something like $4,000 to $5,000.
And she probably had to play a lot in order to get that too. So even if she played low, she had to play a lot in order to hit those larger jackpots.
Yeah, she'd pay 8 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Randy, we got a question here from a guy who says that he booked a convention, okay, in his home state of Texas. He had a artist show up. The artist didn't make any money, and the artist told him, "Hey, man, I have an appearance fee. His appearance fee is $2,500.
Yeah.
This is an indie.
Say that again.
Indie guy.
The indie guy. His appearance fee is $2,500. Unless he makes it. Unless he makes it. Basically a guarantee.
And this just came up out of the blue.
Yeah. He said he didn't sign a contract with this guy, but this guy saying he's gonna badmouth him to other people about doing his show. First of all, Randy, I know you've dealt with artists asking for appearance fee before. You laugh them off. You laugh them off.
No, I don't laugh them off. I just quietly, turn them down.
Okay.
So there's a big difference between going an appearance fee. No way! Get away from me. To that's something really to take under consideration. And there have been a couple times I've gotten this close to paying an appearance fee a couple times. And very well might in the future. I don't know.
It just depends on who the artist is.
Exactly. And how much of a draw I think that they're gonna be there. But for an indie publisher to have an artist, one of their artists come in and sit there, no appearance fee. Thanks for coming. Hope you make some money. Let's go.
I like to announce my 2020 appearance fees.
Huh? Say what?
I like to announce my 2020 appearance fees.
Yeah, there you go.
Follow Tom.
I have an appearance fee.
Do you?
Absolutely. Give me a table.
Mm-hmm.
There's my appearance fee. Everything else is out of the kindness of the convention organizer's heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy.
And that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
That's all anybody should want. Because if you can't make it on your own merit, why are you going to go, hey, I had a lousy con. You owe me $2,500. That's just, especially for an indie publisher, outrageous.
I wonder if I can charge double for logos.
I'd have said, hey, we no longer need to print your book. See ya. Suddenly Joe Blow gets the art assignment, and you just don't get that script or get those pages or whatever. Sorry.
$2,500 is a lot of money. I would say go to community, hey guys, sorry,
But if some indie guy were to come up to me and go, I didn't get my appearance fee from my last show, it'd be like, dude, go away. I didn't get my appearance fee either. Get away from me.
It's not an appearance fee, it's a disappearance fee. Go away.
I ran the con. I still didn't get my appearance fee. Get away from me.
How about you, Lewis?
Say what?
Some guy comes to you and says, "Oh, my $2,500 appearance fee."
I wouldn't have someone wanting an appearance fee, most likely, at the show. So that would be a situation of my own.
And again, it all depends on who it is, because there's a lot of big established artists that you don't want to waste their time.
Yeah.
And have them come to a show and do nothing.
True. I can remember I set up a store appearance for Steve Lieber in Vegas. It was actually Henderson, which is a suburb of Vegas, back a while. So what was that? 1996. He was on Hawkman, I think it was, at the time. And I didn't realize, because I didn't live up there. I was still down in Laughlin, Nevada. I didn't realize that they were having a parade that weekend, so nobody came to the store for the signing. And on top of that, he lost his luggage in the airport. The airport lost his luggage, so it was not a good show for the poor guy. And
sounds like a Kobo-con.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
I got a couple other things to ask you guys about. I got a chance to spend some time with Mike Grail at SuperCon, and Mike was doing art, doing commissions. He drew a picture of my original character, Raquel, and he drew him, and he put on. I noticed that after that, Mike has for $2. You can get a certificate of authenticity, as well as a Randy. You stop it.
What? No, I'm smiling. I'm not laughing. I'm smiling.
And they peel off one sticker. It's a hologram. They put it on the front of your drawing, and then the other certificate of authenticity, the matching hologram, goes in the back of the drawing. That's for additional $2. And there was a gentleman who was upset. He said after $150, he feels that you should get the certificate of authenticity
for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you sit and think about it, and again, I'm sure this guy didn't. If the cost of printing 2 holograms and that certificate probably cost Mike $2.
And if it's a legitimate
or close to it.
Right, and if it's actually should be more, because if it's a legitimate certificate of authenticity, it's notarized, and that's $5 to $10 right there.
Yeah.
It's all individually numbered. That costs. That's a different number. Every time they got to do that.
So now you own a specific number of a Mike Grell piece.
Right.
Right. This is Mike Grell. This is a piece of Mike Grell number, 10,356.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. There's also some upset people that Mike was charging $5 per autographed item.
Okay.
There's
any more, that's low.
Yeah.
Especially with somebody of Mike's caliber.
Somebody's Mike experience and caliber. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
What do they want other than everything be free?
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't want Mike to charge $5 an autograph, tell them to have the publishers hire him, pay him what he's worth. They're not, then you wouldn't have to.
I told you I paid $10 for Steranko's. I thought it was worth it. Of course, he took up a whole page of the sketchbook too, which was awesome. But
yeah,
that was worth it. Mike Royer asked me to give $2 for cancer. I'm like, Mike, I'd be happy to do that. Just, please sign my book. So no big deal. But it's not. So many of these guys, especially these big established guys, your Jim Starlins and your Mike Grells and people on that level, have seen so many times their autograph popping up on eBay, and people getting money for that. And that's why they ended up starting to charge. That and because all of the other media stars up there all charge a little something.
Have you charged for an autograph?
Have I?
Mm-hmm.
No. No, I don't
Really?
consider myself big or popular enough for something like that.
I never charge.
Could I get to that point? You know, if I started seeing somebody selling more than bad sketches of Spank the Monkey up on eBay, you know, it might get to a point. But right now, no.
I mean, when somebody's coming to your table and they've got 7 Warlord action figures, 3 Deimos action figures,
Mm-hmm.
just a nice stack of comics, you know.
That's also what prompted charging,
Mm-hmm.
because you had guys bringing long boxes to people
There has to be a
and
limit.
ask them to sign it.
There has to be a limit too. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, 10. I think 10 items per person should be more than enough. Don't you?
I think that'd help speed it up.
I
mean, there was a guy who literally stood there for about 45 minutes.
But again, though, if you're charging for your autograph, you just say, hey, I'm going to have my guy take this, or we're going to slide that box underneath here. I'm going to take all these other people in line, and then you come back in a couple hours. If I can, I'll sit there and I'll just line them all up and sign them off for $3 a hit or $5 a hit or whatever.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn you. Nobody in their right mind's going to turn down that kind of money.
Uh-huh.
And then again, you know that anybody who brings you a large stack, unless they're a big time collector, and you're getting one of each, they're going to turn those books around anyway.
Right.
So you deserve a little something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're a little independent guy, you know, the people, I've made it a point lately, whenever I pick up a new book, to have them sign it, but sign it to me, you know.
Right.
Because I want to keep it, and I want, you know, here, sign it, and sign it to me because I'm keeping it. So, and I've got a few big books, you know, by big people. I did sign it to me, you know, because I don't plan on. I'm not the kind of guy who goes around and resells that stuff. You know, I'm not a collector. I am a collector, but I'm not a reseller.
Right.
I thought, and Mike Grill was very nice.
He was a great guy.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
Yeah, very down to earth guy.
Yep.
Love talking to him. And as for even the con promoter, just super nice. There were things all. I got 2 SuperCon T-shirts. Actually, Lola did. I didn't. It's a very nice show. And Randy, I sent Randy lots of cosplay pictures. The only thing that kind of upset me, guys, and I'll be honest with you about the show, because I got a little bit of that liquid sauce in me, a little bit of that, liquid courage. The announcer was fantastic. The guy sounded like a professional. The only problem was every 5 minutes he'd come on the microphone and say, "Remember, guys, if you want to see a cosplayer, if you want to take a picture of a cosplayer, ask first, as cosplay is not consent." And it bothers me because as from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not how that started. That's not what that was supposed to mean. Cosplay is not consent. Was supposed to be, I'm not gonna come up to you, grab your ass because you're dressed like this, or you know, grab a breast or something.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What they're getting at there is if you're actually asking a person and communicating with them, there's less chance of them walking up and just grabbing.
Okay.
I think that's what what they're driving at there, possibly.
Well, look, we can start the whole "don't be a dick" movement. You know, don't go up to a girl.
Here he is back with Mike Diana. You need to have Mike Diana as your guest, and then don't be a dick show.
Yeah. Don't go up to a girl and grab her breast. I mean, I told you guys, I had a model. She high-five. A guy was walking down the hall. High-five. He went right under with 2 fingers and tapped her JJ and said "cooter" when he did it. And Lola don't laugh. Lola's over in the corner laughing. That's funny to her.
Cooter.
Yeah. And she was obviously really upset.
Well,
And
yeah,
That's
was very-
definitely sexual harassment right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
and she was but
It's
she
like cooter, nosebleed.
yeah. She was so shocked at the moment it happened. She
Sure.
did not respond. She couldn't respond. She was just kind of like, what just happened? This guy just tapped me on my lips basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so I understand her frustration, but
Yeah.
Ralph says men been grabbing asses since caveman days. And yeah, we have.
Unfortunately,
Yes, they
we're no
have.
longer in caveman days.
Yeah.
Give me that
So.
ass. Lola says women are a big problem. Lola, say that again. Oh. Yeah. Oh, she says women are a big problem. Sometimes they're worse than men.
Yeah.
I mean, and there was a lot of cosplayers around there. Rain has seen the pictures. There was one picture where the young lady's shorts were being eaten by everything else, and I'm like,
She had Hooters shorts on
yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
without the little restaurant or the order sheet slip in the front.
Yeah, yeah, and it was
There was nothing. There was nothing left to the imagination.
no,
Right down to the runway.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was for me it was glorious. I was like, yes, more of this. It's what I like.
Well, shades of the old days,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, when the majority of the cosplayers there usually had a porn career.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, I'm sorry, an adult film career.
Um,
Adult video career.
yeah, yeah. I thought
Video, film, could go either way.
I thought it was I thought it was pretty funny. I thought the con was pretty funny in that cosplayers will walk around, but this guy kept saying cosplay is not consent. Cosplay is not consent.
Yeah.
And it just bothered me because
That was about the most risque con that I've seen in a while. At least from your photos.
Oh, okay. I guess I should see the photos so I can have a rant, huh?
Just more skin than what I've seen at a show in quite a while.
Okay.
yeah. Lotus says Motor City is pretty bad, but I mean, you know,
I haven't
again,
done Motor City the last couple of years, so
yeah, what I was seeing was just straight up tail at some point, and a lot of butts out. But I just the cosplay not being consent thing. Just I always thought it was, and maybe I was right, you know, because Lewis didn't say I was wrong, but it just seemed to be more of a hey, respect these people's bodies. Just because a girl is dressed like, or a guy is dressed like a very character
Mm-hmm.
who you want to lick on, doesn't mean that you can go up to them
And do so.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
and again that goes back to the old days when cons used to be massage-fests,
mhm.
and most of the books were circle template. Boob and tight muscle fests.
I mean, because
Times have changed.
when I seen the girl's shorts, the only thing I thought was, you know,
Whoever He-Man 5R75 is, he says he wants in.
he wants in. Oh, I know who that is. Okay, not a problem. Give me 1 second. Where's my invite? Okay.
Ralph says they're repressed up in the
North Dakota.
ND, North Dakota. Yeah,
South Dakota.
they're in South Dakota.
Oh, yeah, I was in South Dakota.
Howdy, HM.
South Dakota, and I got a bunch of books for super cheap because there's an adult literacy company up there, and they
Did you bring home all those science fiction pulps you were showing me?
I brought home a couple of them, not all of them, even though they were free.
Yeah.
You told me don't haul them all back.
Well, don't bring them back for me. I got plenty. I got more reading than I know what to do with now.
Yeah.
Yep, so do I, and yet I like pulps.
So you're He-Man. And I know what to do with now.
He-Man 275, I think.
Yeah. He-Man 5R75.
Yeah.
You need to cut your sound.
He-Man 275, I think.
Yeah, cut your sound down.
Yeah. He-Man 5R75. Cut your sound down, Scott. You need to cut your. I just muted him. Cut your sound down, Scott.
You just keep him out.
I hope I didn't just boot him.
You just booted him.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Oh my God! You just booted Scott Rose.
Let him back in. That was not the boot. I hit the microphone here. This is unmute mic. Or that says mute mic, just like Lola's. Sorry, Scott. Come back in.
Oh my goodness! Of all the things to do.
I know. I'm ashamed.
He's like, yeah. Hold on.
Come back in, Scott. I know you can do it. You can walk without that chair.
I went today, guys. And
Sorry, Scott. That wasn't on purpose.
Okay.
got far from home. I'm just gonna watch special features and hand it over to the kid.
There he is. He's back. I won't shut his mic off this time.
Are you gonna bring him in or me?
I'll bring him in.
Okay.
Hang on.
There you are.
Here I am.
Yeah, you need to cut your sound.
Darn you, Randy.
Sorry. I was just trying to mute your mic. And apparently I booted you.
You gotta turn your Scott down.
Yeah, turn your sound down, Scott.
Hey, okay, hang on a second. Is that better?
Let's find out.
You gotta turn your Scott down.
Yeah, I'm.
Turn your sound down, Scott.
Hey, okay, hang on a second. Is that better?
Let's find out. It's like you're live and you're getting the YouTube feed.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Turn your YouTube feed sound off.
YouTube. Okay, hang on.
It's like you're live and you're getting the YouTube feed.
Oh, geez. Hang on. I'm getting
Turn your YouTube feed sound off.
YouTube. Okay. All right, is that better?
I think so.
Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Excellent.
Wow.
Now Lola's frozen. No, there she goes.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right.
She's good. Everybody's good. Everyone's good.
Everyone's
For
good.
shoe.
Sorry.
You've been busy. It looks like you've been getting that painting done there back behind you.
Don't look.
Yeah.
Don't look.
Scott.
Just finished a whole month of going to shows, one weekend after another, 4 weekends in a row. So kind of get back into the swing of things.
Scott, do you charge for autographs?
Say again?
Do you charge for autographs on your work?
No. I've never charged for a signature. Only because I didn't want to have to put up with trying to figure out how much I would charge. So there was a time, geez, way back when it was all the rage as a real pickle for people saying, "Oh, why do they charge so much?" and why does everybody charge? And I guess I never want to really be a part of that.
So
Hang on. All right, now my machine's a little better lit. Okay, here I am.
I'm charging $10 from now on. Mike Grill wants 5. I want 10. I know my word.
You want to charge $10 for Mike Grill's signature? That's awesome.
No. Mike charges $5, but he has these really cool certificate of authenticity cards.
Who, Mike Grill?
Yeah. And
Oh, no kidding.
And
Does it have some of his sketches or artwork on it?
I got him to draw my original character for me.
Oh, awesome.
And it was really cool. And I bought a certificate of authenticity because I needed it because I figured no one ever believe it's a Mike Grill piece. So
even though it's got Mike Grell in big letters going up the diagonally.
Heaven forbid there.
Yeah. You paid for that signature. You deserve that signature. One thing in my artistic career I learned from Mike Grell is that he said you need 2 signatures.
Mhm.
One to sign your artwork and one to sign your checks. And they need to be different. So nobody copies your check signing signature.
Good point. Good point.
That's why Simonson does the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember being so entranced by the fact that Simonson made a dinosaur of a signature. Just like, God, that is so cool. And for years, I kept trying to structure my signature so it represented something, and never did. It just made it fancy.
It does. It represents you.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Not and it just
Just because you didn't spend the weeks, months that Walt spent trying to make Simonson look like a dinosaur.
that's true. I just don't represent something as cool as a dinosaur.
There you go.
And you know, isn't that funny that Simonson represented a dinosaur, but he's not known for drawing dinosaurs? Hardly.
Yeah, well, sure he stumbled across it real early with the circle for the Simonson in the center
Actually,
and
the
just
reason
worked
he-
it out
he,
from there.
Associated with that is because he was going to be a paleontologist before he was going to be a comic artist.
Seriously? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I never heard that. Well, that would make sense. I always kind of thought somebody like Bill Stout would have made,
Yeah,
that sort of a
worked
street.
something out. Yeah.
I was gonna be a gangster before I went into comics, but yeah,
You were going to be a gangster. Really?
yeah. Lola says whatever.
Yeah, well, you know.
Best laid plans of mice and gangsters, I guess.
I was
Yeah.
gonna get the I was gonna get the Mr. T starter kit and the herringbone chain and
You are from that era.
yeah. I don't have what? I do got a gangster bone in my body. Man. Anyway, and then Scott,
Yeah.
I discovered
Oh,
Roscato, yeah.
Okay, what is that, like a dry wine or something?
It is a rose dose, sweet red.
And he's been drinking it all night.
So that would probably be a yes.
That explains a lot. Okay, so did you bring that up specifically because it has the word rose in the name? Is that?
No, I didn't think about that actually. No, but now that I think about it, now I'll never run to see it. Yeah. I want that. It's got Roscato. It's got Roscato.
So now you're going to do an upside down wine bottle, rose of mine.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
I'll have to do that from now on. I do think that when I went to South Dakota, there was a tornado down there. I think I mentioned that earlier, and
Yes,
the auto zone got hit, and a strip mall got tore up. But
It got stripped.
yeah, it did. It was really bad.
Whole new idea.
They were. I mean, it was bad around there. But Big Pimpin' Scott, have you ever done a show in South Dakota?
South Dakota?
Mm-hmm.
No, I've never been that far west. Except we went to a convention just to attend it back in '84, the World Science Fiction Convention in Anaheim, California.
Mm.
But in terms of being west, I don't think I've ever been any further west than I think St. Louis.
Oh no.
Far
You
west I've gone.
have to go.
What, the South Dakota?
Yeah, no, just make a road trip and go west. Holy crap. If you've never been that way, you have to go.
Now,
Everybody needs to see that at least once.
I when I was a kid, we would travel out to Montana on a 2-day road trip to visit, cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff.
Right?
But that's
Never been to Yellowstone,
yes, I have as a kid. I've been to
Grand
Yellowstone.
Tetons, Grand Canyon.
Not Grand Canyon. No,
Isn't that bottle empty yet?
It has been for a while. That's why he's only got half a glass. He just
Barry,
keeps,
don't you
he
know
just
better-
keeps pouring it in, hoping for more.
don't you know better than to drink and podcast?
No.
I don't know what the hell I said by the time this podcast is open.
There you go.
No. This is the drinking drunks podcast.
Oh, I see.
What you guys,
drawing while drunk.
what you guys don't know is that Randy's actually operating the show today.
Yeah, that's why I kicked Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here, can I? You want me to show you? We'll kick Lewis. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I already knew Randy was running.
Yeah, I'm up here drinking.
He's there drinking. I'm his wingman. Gotcha, Lewis.
Very, very necessary wingman.
I haven't gotten drunk yet. Well, probably halfway there, but I do have one. Scott. So I think I mentioned that my girl Judith is drawing my original character for me.
Yeah.
And that got me to thinking. Because he was very nice about it. He actually asked me to send him over my character. He asked about the backstory. Did a great piece. But I was thinking, then he did a really cool Rocketeer in his book.
Oh,
It was color.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Oh yeah, I should have. It was a commission for a guy, but it was a gorgeous piece. And he told me the guy I think it was like piece like that. This is like in the 300 area.
Yeah,
But, gorgeous piece. But I just what's the most you've done for a commission, guys? Lewis, you go first. Most you've been paid for a commission. Commission.
$450.
$450. Randy.
you know, I don't know. It all depends. Are you talking commercial work or regular comic work?
At a show.
Probably at a show.
Yeah.
Oh, probably 150.
Okay.
But that was big, you know.
Yeah.
It was pretty big.
As far as a commission at a show,
Yeah.
started and finished at a show.
Mm-hmm.
My God, I have done so many commissions over the years. Probably at a show.
And a lot of stuff you'll get at a show, you'll have to finish afterwards.
Oh yeah. If we want to talk just commissions of any sort, that if I take home or I have to ship out, oh God. But if we're just talking about done at a show, I would say probably 185, maybe 190.
Really?
Yeah, and that's only.
You overcharging, Lewis. You overcharging.
Well, I guess. I mean, I don't know. What would you? But then I was doing one of the one-man jam pieces, so I did like 15 characters on a piece. So that.
Oh yeah, no, I don't ever do that much at a show. I'm usually
One or two characters.
I'm too busy, usually selling prints or whatever. But I don't end up doing very complex pieces at shows because in order to do something I'd really be proud of and that they would have to pay for to have that kind of quality, it would take too long. Yeah. And I'd rather do quick ones. This 185, 190 was probably a full figure pencil. I don't do any inking at a show. It's just way too hectic at a show.
I drew Fritz the Cat for $45.
I would say for a single character, I'd say about 130 as well, as high as I.
Fritz,
yeah.
Fritz the Cat. How'd that turn out?
Pretty good. It's actually on my Facebook.
Cool.
What is that?
He's got an AARP pair of sunglasses.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you see, they're wood. They're wooden. It's awesome.
Wooden.
Yeah.
The frames are wood. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting.
It's weird.
Lola says they're not interesting. Not at all.
Now, do we want to talk about what's the most?
Does she wear glasses normally?
Ooh.
Lola.
Yep. She's supposed to wear glasses.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, the reason I was saying they're interesting is because the metal frames and the plastic frames get eaten away by my perspiration sometimes. I thought, well, maybe wood wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got to get special metal because my body sweats like low level acid. I gotta be very careful. Now, real quick, let's just go back. If we want to talk about commissions we've gotten at shows that we get to take home and send back. All right. There, it's a different story. because I've taken on commissions that are just incredibly complex.
Mm-hmm.
So probably $2,000.
Yeah, I was going to say, you
Something like
probably
that.
go up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty big ones that people have wanted, and the most I ever got paid was for a commission that I will never lay claim to, because I don't have even my initials on it.
Yeah.
But somebody wanted a Justice League versus the Avengers piece
Mm,
in the worst way you can possibly imagine that would be.
mm.
And all right, I said, well, I'm not signing it. So if you ever see it, and it doesn't have my signature on it, well,
I'll look at it like Randy's dad flashing the TV for you. I will make sure I look at the art and say, Lola, this looks a lot like Scott's art, but I don't see a signature.
that's the only way to tell.
Because you look at Scarlet Witch and Wonder Woman, they're going at it.
Well, the darndest thing is that it was like, oh my God, 24 characters, 12 characters all paired up,
Ugh.
And when it was all said and done, I said, oh, it looks great, but you left out this one position. I thought, really?
I know the Kama Sutra, and you missed this one. Yes.
I got
Says,
everything.
no,
you can
no,
imagine.
I didn't look at elongated man. He's doing it right there.
Gee, sorry, I didn't realize. My God. Everything else in the world I could imagine, I could think of, and that's the one that he said I didn't get.
No, what you needed to tell him is that the Wasp and the Atom are at it. You just can't see it.
I actually did. I actually had Ant-Man and Shrieking Violet from these are girls, and I had to draw a magnifying glass coming in on the corner.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
So
Cool.
It's time to play some trivia, guys.
Yeah.
That Randy suggested earlier. So while traveling to Illinois, I picked up a shirt from a gas station. This gas station boasted mother-approved bathrooms, by the way.
Which is always the best places to get your T-shirts. Is in,
It's always good to know that it's mother approved.
Lola said the bathrooms were mother-approved.
Mother who, though?
Yeah. Okay, I bought an Avengers shirt. It says Legends Unite. Who in the hell is the chick leading the team? She's on the front. Okay?
What?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what you said.
There's a chick on the front of the shirt
You're gonna have to pull that closer to the camera.
leading the event. She's the first one.
Hang on. Let me see if I can get this right.
Legends Unite.
Boom. Got it. We see Spider-Man, we see Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, and who the heck is that?
Wow. That looks like a Carmen Infantino drawing, to say the least.
Did it? I thought it looked like John Buscema.
Oh, the girl, the yellow mask girl?
Yeah, it's obviously pasted together because there's a little Kirby in that Thor. It looks like some Herb Trimpe there in the Hulk.
Yeah.
There looks like a Gene Colan Iron Man.
Yeah, I
Captain
agree.
America's anybody's guess.
John
On that-
Romita Sr., maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but that
Yellow
the girl
mask
there.
girl,
Yeah.
I mean, she has that kind of weird pointed face angles that Infantino usually did. But
Well, this
I
is-
haven't.
This is a Marvel shirt too. Keep
Yeah, I
in
know.
mind.
So I haven't a clue who that.
But Infantino worked on for Marvel. He worked on Star Wars and Nova and a few other books.
Oh yes,
Well,
he did.
That's true.
John Carter.
Who is
Wow, but that I can't even begin to get mentioned.
Someone's gonna ask me, and I'm not gonna know.
Boy, you got me. I can't place it.
Her name isn't Heather, is it? No, because the shirt is Heather Gray. Never mind.
Arch nemesis
Yeah.
to indigo blue. Heather Gray. Jean's younger sister.
I don't know who that is on the shirt, and I know someone's gonna ask me.
Oh yeah, that's.
I think that somebody over in one of those Asian countries decided to be a little overly creative. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
Sure, I can guarantee there was not an art director in charge of that shirt.
Yeah. Or not really a real
I
Marvel
wonder
Comics
if,
fan.
If it
Yeah.
made black instead of the yellow, it could be Jean Grey, X-Men.
Oh,
Possibly.
hard
Well,
to
you
say.
know, my pal,
With the yellow, it doesn't work.
my
It's got a
pal
little
suggested-
stripe on the top too.
Yeah,
pal
maybe
suggested
maybe
it
it might have
was
been
a,
the Wasp or
Well,
Yeah, it might have been one of the Wasp's many costumes. She's Lord knows she's had enough.
a
Yeah,
pal
they used to-
it was
And they are
Goliath.
all Avengers, except Spider-Man has been Avenger, but that's more recent.
and they used to do all these incredibly sexist things with the Wasp back in these early Avengers.
Oh yeah.
They were making her out to be a girl that just wanted to go shopping and wasn't interested in anything but hunky guys and oh god, it was just terrible. So I imagine maybe their idea to try and be women friendly by putting in a female character there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Scott, you missed part of our chat earlier.
Yeah, I saw earlier something about drawing or doing professional work or something. Was that it, or am I
Well, one of the things we talked about Kickstarter.
Kickstarter? Oh, yeah.
They want to unionize, and unionizing got 3 people fired.
Who wants to unionize?
Kickstarter, the workers want to unionize.
The company
Alright,
wants to unionize.
All
Yeah.
150 of them.
There used to be 152, but oops,
Yeah,
Oh,
a couple of them wanted to unionize really bad.
now they're unionizing the.
Now they're in the unemployment line.
Yeah,
is that threatening Kickstarter, or are they? Obviously Kickstarter doesn't want anything to do with it, right?
right.
Well, they said it was their performance that they let them go on, but yeah, they were going to fight it.
Huh. I thought you can you organize with that few people working at a company? I thought you needed like a minimum employment number.
From what I understand, when I was approached by a guy who wanted to bring a union into a little factory I was working in, this is years ago. He told me all you need is 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all you need is 10 to really get it rolling.
So the people at Kickstarter apparently didn't think they were being treated the right way, or they weren't getting just due, or what?
We don't know what the grievances are, do we, Lewis?
No, we don't.
No, and even the head guy at Kickstarter said he didn't know what they were grieving about, that he's got an open door policy. Nobody's talked to him.
Yeah.
So have these people all been have they all been shown the door, shown the the road, or what?
No, they said that they got rid of those two because of performance problems, and that they've had pro-union people get advanced, be promoted since that's happened. So they didn't do it specifically for the union problems.
Sorry, Ralph says, anyone doing the Inktober challenge? I'm doing the Drinktober challenge, Ralph.
You're well into the
Apparently you are.
Drinktober challenge.
Hey, Varian, your eyes are looking surprisingly kind of drifty.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm doing Drinktober. I'll be.
Oh, come on.
Lewis is doing Inktober.
Yes.
He's on day 1. He's drawing robots. Everything is awesome.
Well, no, I did Robot today. Tomorrow
Yeah.
I do Vampire. Or actually, I do Nosferatu tomorrow.
I was just.
None of us are doing
Hey, homework. That's good. I'm going to do it this year too. I did last year, but I'm going to put a little more oomph into it. I was just looking at the Inktober prompts, though. It's mine says, what are your prompts made of, Lewis?
Wood,
Hold on a second.
Wood.
kid.
Hey, Lola, what's the most you've been paid for a commission?
Hey, we're not going to talk. Never mind.
You guys. You leave Lola alone. You're not bothering nobody.
What are you sharing, Lewis? Oh, okay, there we go. Randy's having fun for all the features. Hold on, Lewis. I'll see if I can share that. Hold on. Let me see. I still have some controls. There we go. All right.
Well, Scott would like to read the sign.
So, 2019 prompt list: a Rubit, You better ribbit.
Oh, this is your prompt list rules that you made up?
No.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, is this? This is an official one?
Yeah, this is the official prompt list.
Okay, so this is the one you made up, though. This is
Well, now, wait a second. My prompt list doesn't have these cool things. Mine has ring, mindless, bait, freeze, build, husky, enchanted, all those kind of things.
Well,
Yeah,
you
you
probably
got-
got the official list.
You probably got the official list. I got one that was a bunch of people asking me for stuff.
Ah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine's
okay.
is official, and I guess, yeah, from Jake Parker, the guy that started it. Why I like these. I like your list better because, I mean, there are some things in here like dragon and legend and wild and all this kind of stuff. But
Well, what I ought to do is do one of each, I guess. I'll have to do two. I'll have to do 3 tomorrow then.
yeah,
Sure.
Where you said Jake Parker list? Okay. Let me see.
Vampire, melting man, a zombie, a werewolf, Frankenstein, a haunted house, mummy, a witch or a hag, a sea monster, a pirate, a demon, them scary.
varying. You're drifting down into South Carolina. We can tell. Something ain't
No,
right.
he's farther south than that.
I want to do a Grim Leaper, a Jack O' Lantern, and maybe a Ghostbuster. There's a dinosaur, a Axionomorph, a Brightcard, a Black Cat, Scarecrow, Ghost, Skeleton, Alien Creature. And if Andy will just bring on the car, we'll swing around and get ourselves some moonshine.
Anyway.
Lewis, gotta take this down.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Louis, can you send me that list? I want to do that one. I don't want to do the official prompt. Fun.
Yeah, I can send you a list.
Yeah, do that.
I can do that one, or I can send you one. Just make one up for yourself. I mean, you know.
I could, but then you know you gotta. It's not Thinktober, it's Inktober. I don't have to think. I just want to.
I hope that you guys show so much gusto next month.
Why is that?
No Nut November.
What about November?
No Nut November.
No Nut November?
That's right.
You might have to explain that. They were after 10 o'clock. Actually, we're after 11. So
Yeah.
No Nut November is
no omens for you.
no masturbatory endeavors all November long. No sex, no nothing.
Forget that ship's already sailed, my friend. No, I can't do that. I can't not do that. Big news. No mess. Are you kidding me? I expect you to get up in the morning. No, bro, that was the breaking news. No,
Breaking news should have a split screen. Broken glass. It's cracked like Varian's brain.
It is. I plan on using some of those photos of cosplayers. You missed it, Scott. Hold on.
I missed it big time.
It's at 10 o'clock, right? Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute.
While you're doing that, Randy,
Yes.
what do you think about this thing with Kickstarter people wanting a union? Because I know you're very fluid in that kind of language.
Well, I said just what you did. Is there something wrong at Kickstarter that all of the employees now feel that they need a union? That seems pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think unions should be used just for this, but usually unions are really best utilized when there are really stringent conditions in the workplace and
Most
the company is being unfair. And
most of the computer companies like that are pretty liberal as it is.
yeah, I was going to say,
That's a big one. Varian, can you blow that up, Eddie?
oh, is that guy that looks like Stan Lee?
Yeah.
Boy, he could make a mint going around being a pseudo Stan Lee.
You could scare a lot of people to death.
Oh my God!
He's scared the shit out of me. I'll tell you that, guys.
Wow.
For me.
Does he sound like Stan?
Yes.
Does he really?
Mannerisms and everything.
Face front, true believers.
Yeah, he's scared.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
He all he needs to do is to get those slightly tinted glasses. You know, that's
He
No,
has
you
them
know
on.
what? The MCU needs to hire him for his little guest spots in every film.
oh my gosh, yes,
That's what they need to do. That would be awesome.
that
He,
is
he
wow.
has glasses on. They just aren't that dark. They're on as dark as
It stands work.
Well,
Thank
it's
Yeah, he needs to get a hold of Kevin Feige in the worst way.
oh yeah, my
He
God.
does, because he's got a good 10, 15 year career ahead of him.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
It was like the at Indiana Comic Con about 4 years ago or so. There was a guy there that was portraying. He was portraying himself as looking like Leonard Nimoy and Spock, and he did. I mean, it was spooky. I don't know if you guys ever saw him or knew of him,
Cool.
but he was wow.
Is it
Spot on. It was.
Spock Vegas? Was it Spock Vegas Spock guy?
Oh, I think it might have been him. I heard
Yeah.
he was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So, my God, that was just wow. Really something. Really something.
all right. Here we go. Let's see here. There we go.
Oh my goodness, what is? Hang on a second.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said when I first saw it. Oh my goodness, what the?
Oh,
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
and why does she have what looks like a price gun in there? Oh my Lord. That guy has got what is classically known as a shit-eating grin on his face. And I would,
I could say
wow,
that. Yeah.
wow. The ducky and a blue. What is that blue disky thing on his hip? Is that a?
They're
Lord.
characters from is it Overwatch or Fortnite? Yeah, Fortnite.
Just pick a game. That's where they're from.
Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So that's in your albums of must-have photos, eh,
Yep,
Varian?
all the pictures I sent Randy during the show. But it's a great show. I loved it. She was very nice.
Now, obviously, it came in a little bit late tonight. Can I suggest a topic for our next little? Oh, that's nice.
It's the art of Louis Bright Raven.
Wait. Hold.
Oh,
Put it back up there, you little drunk something. Here, hang on a second. Louis, you did that?
Yeah.
That's nice. That is a very good robot. Was that
Yeah,
for? Was that your first piece for the Inktober?
Yep.
Oh wow. Did you do pieces like this, like for game modules or things like that, or?
I've done stuff like that before. Yeah.
But I mean, for professional pay and all. That?
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow, I like that. I like that. That's pretty cool. Wow, and now you just did this today.
Yeah. That was 2 hours. That was 2 hours.
No kidding, really? Wow.
That was, in fact, no, it was actually more than that because I did the blue line last night, and because I did the blue line instead of going straight from scratch for the thing, but inking it and coloring it took 2 hours.
Wow. Randy, do you know who that reminds me of?
Huh.
Looks like Frank Soroko's work.
Okay.
Yeah, remember him on Alien Legion and
Yeah.
he did tons of work after he kind of left comics after Alien Legion was done. He did tons of artwork for video arcade games.
Right.
But the artwork, I think, on the Centipede game, this was before, I think, comics.
Really?
Yeah, that was all his work.
Okay.
Yeah, he needed tons of those types of things for all kinds of arcade games.
Huh.
And it has that slick, very streamlined, robotic feel like that.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to you, Louis. That's pretty good. Pretty darn good.
A lot of gears. I like it.
Yeah.
I can't do that many gears. I get confused.
You don't know if it's first or second gear or what the heck, huh?
It's always like I'm stuck in second gear. I don't even know my month, my birthday, or even whatever. I messed the song up. I'll be there for you.
Yeah. Okay. Enough of the singing. Let's kind of scale that back there.
He's getting drunk.
Yeah. Let's.
Buddy, we're after 11 o'clock. We've been running for almost 2 hours, 10 minutes.
We have.
Live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we need any inebriated songs.
We're at that point.
Oh.
I mean, come on now. I mean, if we're gonna do that, I might as well just start queuing up the music and start doing it.
Yeah, we don't need to do this.
Out of pistachio.
Well, let's anyway. Like I was saying, the next time we kind of corral ourselves here. Which I don't know. I don't know if it'll be Thursday or not. I'm not going anywhere, so I might be able to make the Thursday morning one. But maybe we'd like to do is do more comic art stuff. Kind of, I love seeing what Lewis did there.
Mm-hmm.
And
actually, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can watch me draw it.
oh, I'm not going to go that far.
Okay.
If you just put it up here for us to see, and I don't have to do any effort, yeah, gladly.
Yeah, but that's what I decided to do for October. Every day I'll do a live stream drawing it.
Yeah. Well, let's do that. Let's post some more artwork. What before we to go to Ralph's? What was that guy before that said screw that? Who was that? Who was it?
Just kidding. It's Gabe.
Oh.
Gabriel Cantu.
Yeah.
He's talking about something else.
Oh, okay.
We got,
Just like this one.
What's Ralph say? For a minute, I thought it was camel toe. Oh my god! Oh, the robot?
No, I'm sure he was talking about the cosplayer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I kind of noticed that a fairly flat midriff.
I think the proper expression was moose knuckle, but that's a whole other story.
Moose knuckle. I don't think I've ever heard that phrase. Moose knuckle. I like that. Sounds like an ice cream from Hudsonville.
Yeah. What flavor of ice cream do you want, kid?
I
I'll
want
take
a moose
knuckle.
I want 2 scoops of moose knuckle. Pack it tight.
Can you put just a dash of camel toe in there for me?
And lots of whipped cream. No ice cream.
Lots of whipped cream and a cherry.
Of course.
Of course. All right, buddy. We've degenerated the show down to just about nothing. Did you want to call it?
yes.
Call it what?
Done. We're gonna call it
We're
done.
gonna call it Don Perignon. Don Perignon. Don Perignon.
Today's episode was brought to you by Rosado. We'll see you guys back in Thursday.
Oh, wait, ho. I hate to say that in the horse, but in that. I just noticed I swear to God, I just noticed Lola, aka Double Lattes. Lola, what are you doing?
She's adding a little flavor to the show.
Oh, okay, the latte. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Well, Thursday morning, indieVolt Morning Buzz.
Yep.
At
Yep.
9 a.m.
Yep.
And Thursday night will be my Quote the Raven show at my channel, Quote the Raven, on YouTube. I don't know if I'll be doing the drawing on live that particular night, or if I'm going to do two videos that day. We'll see.
Did you get anybody co-hosting with you there, Lewis, or is it just you?
Not really. I'm waiting to get people to do some interviews and stuff. But
All right.
Yep, and don't forget to check out Quote the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven, on YouTube. You might have to, and then Zim Geek channel, which is
New
Randy's
content almost up. New content almost up.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, is this how many Zim Geeks have you put up, Randy?
Man.
I mean,
22, 23. I put up a how to draw hot stuff, and it's pulled down quite a few people.
Oh, cool.
I think I got like 9 or 10 hits last week alone.
Oh,
It's been up there for a month, which was really weird.
I've been trying to
Suddenly
catch
I'm
it.
getting hits on it.
I've been going around so much to these shows, I haven't had a chance to catch up to it. So
Yeah, I haven't added anything in a few weeks. I've been so busy. I just got done with a big shirt order.
oh, okay. And the so like in the last month, you've added just a few, or
I think just that one on hot stuff. There's a lot more coming though. I got a bunch of things prepped. I just haven't, sat there and done the final edits on it and stuck it up there.
gotcha.
And
And Lewis, you say you do some drawing too on yours?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing all my Inktober drawings on my
On the Colt the Raven
yeah.
podcast, right? Okay.
And I think I've also done a couple of other pieces I'll be doing. I did my character Spacey before Inktober showed up. So
Gotcha.
Thursday morning, we'll talk about these right here that are Randy's.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, I had never seen those before. We'll talk more about that on Thursday.
And to get people really mad at us, we'll talk about what else I discovered at
SuCon.
yeah, SuperCon.
Okay, we'll tell Ralph. Jeez. Oh, all right.
The original Cyberfrog?
Yeah.
Okay.
The original Cyberfrog, issues 1 through 4, as well as
The
Reservoir Frog.
The original run that he
Yeah.
From
Okay.
back in 93 or 94, whenever you did it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And Lola, is there any
That reminds me,
you
did you guys get your orders from Ethan yet?
Not yet.
Did you order some? Varian, you bought into that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I haven't received mine yet, but mine.
Because I've seen people opening their packages and saying they got them. That's why I wondered if you got them.
Yeah, I'm getting a couple of Cyberfrog Chromium covers, and he's just now this week, I think, signing those and getting them out.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
I think that if they're being done alphabetically,
Well, all of the team up covers are out. Yeah, if they're doing them alphabetically, I'll be last. Yeah, I know. I hear you.
What are you about to
And
ask?
also,
I went through school. I know how that goes.
Lola, is there any earth tremors in your part of the studio?
He just wants you to laugh. That's all.
Oh, it is. Watch out. Everything's shaking.
Let's see. Let's see.
You know we love you, sweetie.
Here we go.
He has to do it now because November's coming.
Whoa, hey, hang on.
November's right around the corner.
Oh, she lost something.
She says I won't partake in November, unfortunately. So, all right, guys, it's been nice having you. I will see everybody back here Thursday morning at 9 a.m.
Where's your end credits here? Do you have one?
Yep. Well,
is that on your box that you're in?
Hold on, you hit brand. There it is. I hit it. All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.